Hello, guys. I'm your host, Bhuvan Verma. Welcome to Mangal Earth podcast, where our efforts aim to create Mangal on Earth and Earth on Mars. Mangal Earth is about bridging worlds, discovering technologies on Earth that propel humanity's journey amongst the stars. Today, we have someone very special for you, someone very well known in the space industry, someone who's worked for several decades, Mr. Suyash Singh, co founder and CEO at GalaxEye. Hello, Suyash. How are you?
I'm really good, Bhuvan. Thank you so much for having me on the podcast. Very appreciative of the fact that you're really excited about space technology in general. And having been in this space building satellites is always very keen and certainly a very aesthetic moment for all of us to talk about it. Right. So, very much looking forward to this conversation.
All right, then. So, diving straight into our questions and addressing our curiosities, synthetic aperture radar, SAR, is a tested technology. How has GalaxEye latest breakthroughs in resolution and capabilities flipped the game?
Synthetic aperture radar as a technology has existed in the world, right? And in fact, ISRO and DRDO labs in India has also built it several times in the past. I think the major problem was never building synthetic aperture radar, but it was always of building such a technology, at volumes, at scale, and at a particular low mass, weight, and power category. So that has been one of the key challenges when we were starting to develop and bringing those down to 15 to 30 centimeter resolution and making it usable for not just for national security, but also for other applications such as agriculture around. That is most important.
Tell our audience what inspired GalaxEye to pursue the cutting edge SAR systems, and how do you see this technology impacting the industry and communities globally?
I think if you see the entire year, around 4 to 5 months, we don't have visibility from sun, right? There is rainy situations, there are clouds and stuff. In those situations, if you have to monitor a farm for agriculture purposes or understand transmission lines, trees if they're actually uh, merging with the transmission lines, at that time you need to have visibility from space without having sun in picture, right? SER is a technology that penetrates through clouds and can do nighttime imaging. And we wanted to make satellite imagery consistently available and accessible throughout the year. For that reason, I think GalaxEye was started and born.
For a lot of us, we never knew that radar technology could penetrate through water vapor and cloud systems. But thank you for illuminating that aspect and opening our minds towards that area and application. And talking about applications, Suyash, you've been known to dabble in Hyperloop, and you've been called the father of Hyperloop in India. How has GalaxEye contributed to the Hyperloop's progress, and what excites you about the upcoming global Hyperloop competition?
So I won't say GalaxEye has contributed to the Hyperloop system, but we and founders who have started GalaxEye have initiated Hyperloop revolution, so as to say, in India. So back in 2019, we were thinking in our hostel rooms, can we do something about on the transportation side of the story? And that is where the idea sparked, and we started thinking about, Elon Musk and his white paper back then. And nevertheless, today, in 7 years down the line, it is not just an idea, but a full-fledged 450-meter tube that is coming around in Chennai, which will be now used for Hyperloop transportation. At the same time, this will help India to lead the transportation Hyperloop technology development in the world. We'll probably be the country who will lead Hyperloop technology rather than any other country in the world.
Hoorah, guys. So you heard it first here on Mangal Earth, and follow Suyash on LinkedIn if you are more interested in not just Hyperloop but SAR as well. Okay, so hopping on to our next question. You were the gold and felicitation sponsor for Indian Defense Space Symposium. What role does GalaxEye play in shaping the dialogue and advancement in space exploration and defense technology?
We want to be on the passive side of the defense technology, right? So we are mainly into surveillance. Synthetic aperture radar definitely position itself as one of the sensors that can help us to understand the changes happening in the areas where we monitor, right? And that as a technology has to work in volume and scales given the kind of geography India has, right? Particularly with the neighbors, particularly with the large maritime border and stuff. But but apart from defense and surveillance activities, synthetic aperture radar will also be very useful in areas like agriculture, aquaculture, insurance, utilities, and whatnot. It is essentially a satellite image without clouds.
So many applications, both on land and around it, as you said, and across borders which may or may not be manned, as we know. Okay, moving on to the next area of our interest. You are a very powerful startup. You are known in the industry. You recently featured Google for Startups Demo Day with Mission Drishti. Can you tell us a little bit about the Earth observation industry and the innovations? We are very interested in the innovations, as you know, on the show, behind Mission Drishti for indigenous innovations in space technology.
Larger Earth observation landscape has many sensors, starting with camera, with optical or RGB sensors. Then you have thermal, then you have IR, then you have synthetic aperture radar. We found out that, a certain combination of optical and synthetic aperture radar will be very useful to many other use cases and industries as well. So that is where Drishti kind of, born, where we said we'll take a multispectral imager and a synthetic aperture radar to make sure that we penetrate through clouds, but we still makes a lot of sense out of it. And Drishti essentially is going to be mounted on a satellite, unlike other platforms such as planes and drones and other flying platforms. Right? So Drishti will be the world's first multi-sensor data fusion satellite to go into space and proudly from India.
Thank you, Suyash, for being on the show, sharing your insights and innovations with our audience. Thank you, audience, for watching Mangal Earth, the dual impact show that highlights innovations that not only revolutionize life on Earth, but also take us further into space. With that, please keep sharing this video. Till the next time, Mangal Earth to all of you. Namaste.